Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. There are questions circulating about why Nikki Haley is still in the race for the White House. The South Carolina GOP presidential primary is coming up, and Nikki Haley continues to be in the presidential race. Perhaps she understands. I don't know. I can't read her mind, but I'm guessing she understands that she's not going to win this. There's really no pathway for Nikki Haley to win the GOP nomination, but she continues to be in the race. My friends, some things in life don't make sense, and that's how it is. Just look at a survey. According to a recent CBS News YouGov survey, Trump is at 65%. Trump is at 65%, and Nikki Haley is at 30% among GOP voters in the state, meaning in South Carolina. Now, that's a massive difference. That's a pretty big difference. So, why is Nikki Haley still in the race? I don't know. My friends, let me ask you a question. Who can you truly count on to successfully secure the southern border? As you are looking at the presidential candidates, who can you truly count on to successfully secure the southern border and stop this influx of illegal immigrants? Is it Nikki Haley or is it Donald Trump? Who has true determination to secure the southern border? Is it Nikki Haley or is it Donald Trump? I'm sure that Nikki Haley wants to secure the southern border also. But then the question becomes, who can truly get it done? Who can get the job done? Who would you like to see in the White House as president? Who is that individual who can get the job done, who can secure the southern border and stop this influx of illegal immigrants? I think most people will say Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the one who can get the job done, who can secure the southern border and end this crisis. Donald Trump is going to win the GOP nomination for president. That is my prediction. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. And I think he's going to win. That's what I'm hoping for in the general election, November 2024. I am hoping that Donald Trump will win. And I'm very confident that Mr. Trump will start working on day one in office to secure the southern border. We have a crisis, and the crisis keeps getting worse every single day. Look at what's happening in New York City because of the influx of migrants. Reportedly, there was a proposal. Listen to this. I mean, this is unbelievable. Reportedly, there was a proposal to house migrants at an abandoned luxury apartment complex in New York City. A luxury apartment complex, abandoned. And there was a proposal to house migrants at an abandoned luxury apartment complex in New York City. According to reports, there's a luxury building that is currently vacant. It has been empty for around a decade. It was built in 2007 and has 35 units. So there was reportedly a proposal to turn this building into a migrant shelter. And after people started asking questions about this proposal, Mayor Eric Adams said that illegal migrants would not be placed in that building. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know that illegal immigrants wouldn't be housed in that building. There are lots of needs in the community. Many Americans are homeless, and I've said that before, and I think we all understand that. There are homeless Americans in various states, in various cities, in New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, there are many homeless Americans. There are homeless Americans in Madison, Wisconsin, where I live. So homelessness has been a problem for a long time. Many young people, many young Americans need help. Many Americans need healthcare services. Many Americans need nutritious food. And there are many Americans who need various forms of support because they are facing various challenges. There are Americans who are in need of help. And so, what we see is that people are starting to ask questions. Americans are starting to ask questions. They are starting to ask why illegal immigrants are getting so many resources while US citizens in need are not getting help from government. That's the right question to ask. And that's what I have been saying for many months. And I have been asking these questions, and I have been trying hard to raise awareness, and I'm still trying to do that. I want my words to reach more and more people. I want people to hear about the problems that Americans are facing. I want people to know that there are liberals who are using our tax dollars and giving free stuff to the illegal immigrants. The Americans' needs are not being looked at. Americans have needs. Instead, left-wing politicians are focusing on the illegal immigrants. Americans are being displaced because of the arrival of illegal immigrants. This report was shocking. This report that migrants may be housed in a luxury apartment building, this was shocking. What about homeless Americans? Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to make sure that American citizens who are facing financial challenges have a place to stay? And I'm glad that people are now starting to ask questions. People are demanding answers. Anyway, in this case, Mayor Eric Adams said that migrants will not be housed in that luxury building. Okay, I trust his words this time. But what about the next building? And the next building? There are many buildings in New York City, and I wonder if the liberals will come up with a new proposal to house migrants in some other building. That's why people will have to pay attention. Americans will have to pay attention. Americans living in New York City will have to pay attention. They'll have to try to find out what the Eric Adams administration is thinking. What are they planning to do? Are they going to place migrants in other buildings across the city? There are many buildings in New York City, and I wonder if liberals will come up with a new proposal to house migrants somewhere else. Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you, illegal immigrants should not be in New York City. Illegal immigrants should not be in Chicago. Illegal immigrants should not be in San Francisco. They should not be in Los Angeles. They should not be in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Illegal immigrants should not be in the United States of America. This country should have no room for illegal immigrants. It's very simple. No room for illegal immigrants in the United States. There are millions who come to this country through the legal process. There are many foreign nationals who respect our immigration laws and rules, and they follow the legal process, and they complete immigration paperwork. They go through background check. They wait for their turn. There are lots of laws, lots of rules that they follow, and those who come here legally follow those laws and rules. And the illegal immigrants, they just walk in. They cross the border and they enter the United States illegally. And then there's a feeling of entitlement. Illegal immigrants, they expect free housing, free food, free shelter. And while this is going on, US citizens are suffering. Many Americans don't have food. They don't have decent housing. And liberals like Eric Adams in New York City and Brandon Johnson in Chicago, they want to support illegal immigrants by giving them free stuff. Free stuff for illegal immigrants, but not for the American taxpayers. And paying for the free stuff that illegal immigrants receive is not the only cost that American taxpayers bear. American taxpayers have to bear this cost. They bear the cost of all the free stuff that the illegal immigrants are getting. But that's not the only cost that the American taxpayers bear. There are other costs. There are many social costs. Many illegal immigrants are engaging in criminal behavior. There are robberies and thefts taking place. Many illegal immigrants are using mopeds to commit crimes. Property is being stolen. People are being hurt because many illegal immigrants are engaging in criminal activities. Reportedly, criminals are also enlisting illegal immigrants to rob luxury stores. Luxury stores. Stores being robbed. Businesses being robbed. We already have many problems in this country, my friends. There are many issues in our country that we have to address. We don't need any more problems. Each day that illegal immigrants come in, there are more and more problems being added. Some people will say that illegal immigrants are here to work hard and to build a better life. I understand that there are those who want to work hard and build a better life, but there's a way to do that. Come in using the legal process. Complete the paperwork. Go through background check. Wait for your turn. Follow the United States immigration laws and rules. Come in legally. If you want to come to the United States to work hard and build a better life, come into this country legally, not illegally. We can't keep the door open for illegal immigrants to walk in. And once they walk in, as I said, there's a feeling of entitlement, free housing, free food, free medical services, free legal services. My friends, our immigration laws and rules are being broken. We need border security. With the Biden administration in power, can we expect border security? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's why we need a new president. And who do we need? Can Nikki Haley fix the problems? Maybe, but we don't know for sure. But we know who can surely fix the problems. We know the name of the leader who can fix the problems, who can secure the border and stop this influx of illegal immigrants. And do you know who that person is? It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump can secure the southern border and stop the influx of illegal immigrants. We need a physical barrier at the southern border. We need a fence or a wall, whatever you call it. We need a physical barrier at the southern border, and we need advanced technology. And we need personnel. We need border patrol officers to ensure that no illegal immigrants are coming in. Let me tell you something more that's happening in New York. Reportedly, many migrants in New York City are using drugs and alcohol in public openly. What does that tell you? Lawlessness is widespread in New York City. Lawlessness is widespread. And the quality of life in the city of New York is falling. Here's the main thing that one must remember. We don't know who these illegal immigrants are. We don't know their background. We don't know their history. And in many cases, we don't know where they're coming from. The illegal immigrants are a big unknown. Who are these people? And why are they coming to the United States? Well, many liberals will claim that the migrants are here to work hard. As I said, if a foreign national wants to come into the United States to work hard and build a better life, then there's a proper way to do that. Follow the legal process. And let me ask you, what about the rising crime in sanctuary cities? Why are so many migrants engaging in illegal activities, in criminal activities? And that's happening as there's a severe shortage of police officers. During one of my live streams on YouTube recently, I talked about the crisis in Louisiana due to a severe shortage of law enforcement officers. The governor of Louisiana has declared a state of emergency. But Louisiana is not the only state that's facing a crisis. There are many others. Many other states are facing crisis because of shortage of police officers, including New York. New York needs more police officers. While crime is on the rise, there are not enough police officers in New York City. There are not enough law enforcement resources to combat the rise in crimes. Here's one thing that you have to keep in mind. The legal system is being overburdened. Overburdened. There are more crimes taking place because law enforcement resources are limited. The criminals are trying to overwhelm the legal system. And if this continues over time, the rule of law in our country will be diminished. It's already happening. And don't forget how cities are looking at the possibility of budget cuts. If budget cuts take place, that would further worsen the crises that we are facing. The more the cities spend money on migrants, the less money there will be for other things. Less money for libraries, less money for law enforcement agencies, less money for other public services, and then that's a downward spiral. How will American cities recover from this? And now there's a push by far left elected officials in New York City. There's push by far left elected officials to eliminate limits on how long people can stay at the city's shelter system, which means that far left politicians are trying to make the city's shelter system a permanent address for the migrants. That is correct. You heard that right. If these far left New York City Council members succeed in their efforts, then the city's shelter system could become the permanent residence for illegal immigrants. That's what these New York City Council members, these far left politicians are trying to do. If the plan succeeds, then migrants will never be evicted from the city's shelter system. They can live there for as long as they want. And that's what the liberals want. This is the direction that the left-wing politicians are choosing. They want migrants to grow their roots in the city's shelter system. My friends, there really are no words to describe what's happening in the city of New York. A great city it was once upon a time. But because of poor policies, because of far left politicians, the city is facing severe crisis. And how will that city recover from the crisis that it faces? And now let's talk about Illinois, another state in complete disorder. I am here in Wisconsin, and Illinois is a neighbor. Illinois is the neighboring state. But that state is in complete disorder, run by liberals. The city of Chicago in particular is in complete chaos. Reportedly, the state of Illinois and Cook County have announced plans to allocate more money for the illegal immigrants. And you may be wondering, how much money are we talking about? How big is that dollar figure? Is it thousands? Tens of thousands of dollars? Is it hundreds of thousands of dollars? Is it $1 million? Is it 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million? Is it tens of millions of dollars? 50, 60, 70, $90 million? Is it $100 million? You may be wondering what that dollar figure is. Let me ask you, can you guess the dollar figure? If I pause for a second, let me pause for 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, can you come up with the dollar figure that the state of Illinois and Cook County want to spend on illegal immigrants? As I said, reportedly, the state of Illinois and Cook County have announced plans to allocate more money for the illegal immigrants. What is that dollar figure? If I pause for 5 seconds, my friends, can you guess that figure? Let me pause for 5 seconds. I'm going to do a countdown, okay? I'm going to do a countdown. Come up with that number. Come up with that number. Write it down. 5. I'm going to come up with that number. 4. Come up with that number. Can you guess that number? 3, 2, 1. That dollar figure is $252 million. Does that shock you? Does that shock you? That it's $252 million. That's how much money the state of Illinois and Cook County have announced that they plan to allocate for the illegal immigrants. That is correct. The state of Illinois and Cook County have plans to allocate up to an additional $252 million to serve the illegal immigrants. That's money for housing, money for food, money for other services. Wow. Where is all this money going to come from? Does anyone ask that question? I'm sure taxpayers do. Where is that money going to come from? How do the state of Illinois and Cook County get all this money that they want to spend on the migrants? Well, it's not their money, it's the taxpayer money. More and more money from the pockets of hardworking Americans going towards the illegal immigrants. The migrants must be feeling entitled to receive taxpayer-funded services. Here's the breakdown. Let me just give you a little bit more details about this $252 million figure that's being reported. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has reportedly pledged approximately $182 million. And Cook County Board President has made a commitment of $70 million. In total, that's approximately $252 million for the illegal immigrants. So much money. Massive figure. It's unbelievable. Just imagine how all this money can help American citizens. Imagine how many Americans could be housed using this massive sum of money. Imagine how many meals could be purchased for American citizens who are in need. With all this money, there are many senior citizens who don't get nutritious food. There are many children who don't get healthy food. There are so many people in need of food. There's food insecurity in America. Americans need help. But instead, the liberal politicians, they want to use millions and millions of dollars to buy food for the migrants, for the illegal immigrants. Imagine how many homeless veterans could receive the services that they need with all this money. But instead, the liberals want to spend this money on the illegal immigrants. Americans are not getting the healthcare services they need. Many Americans are struggling. They can't pay their bills, but the illegal immigrants are receiving free care. Endless supply of money for the illegal immigrants, but not for American citizens. If you are an American, you have to pay your medical bills. You get services, you have to pay your copay, you have to pay your deductible, you have to pay your medical bills. If you don't, you may be sent to collections. If you are an American citizen, you have to pay your medical bills. If you are an American, you have to pay your taxes. If you don't, you may face penalties. If you are an American, you have to buy your own food. No one's going to buy your food. You have to work hard, earn money, pay taxes, and you have to buy your own food. But then there's free food for the illegal immigrants. If you are an American, you have to pay for your own utilities. No free electricity for Americans, no free gas for Americans. But the illegal immigrants are getting free stuff. The illegal immigrants, they don't have to pay their energy bills. Everything they get is taxpayer funded. In Chicago, in New York City, and in other sanctuary communities, billions and billions and billions of dollars are being spent on the illegal immigrants. Billions and billions and billions. These are dollars from the pockets of hardworking Americans going towards the illegal immigrants. The question, my friends, let me ask you the question. The question is, how long will this go on? How long will American taxpayers continue to pay for housing, food, and other services for the migrants? How long will this go on? That's the question. Don't forget, November 2024, make your voices heard. Vote. Vote for the right person, the candidate who can secure the southern border and stop the influx of illegal immigrants. My friends, Donald Trump is the person who can get the job done. Share with me your thoughts. I really appreciate you listening to my podcast. You may be listening to the audio version of my podcast. You may be watching the video version. Please let me know your thoughts. Share with me your views, your opinions. I am speaking, I am exercising my First Amendment right to free speech, to share my views with the world. But I want to hear from you. What are you seeing in your community? Where do you live? Do you live in New York? If you do, tell me, what are you seeing in your community? If you are a Chicago resident, tell me about what you are witnessing in your city. If you live in Los Angeles, I want to hear from you. If you live in San Francisco, tell me, what kind of crisis are you seeing in your city? If you live in Denver, please send me a message. Let me know what you are seeing in Denver. How is the city dealing with the migrant crisis? No matter where in the country you are, share with me your opinions. Go to tossifanam.net. Send me a message. If you want to email me, you can do that. My email address is tossif@tossifanam.net. Once again, my website is tossifanam.net. My email address is tossif@tossifanam.net. Share with me your thoughts. I want to hear from you. And if you follow my YouTube channel, please don't forget to tune in for my live streams. I have been doing live streams a lot. I'm doing, I don't know, maybe at least 5 live streams a week. Of course, I do pre-recorded videos, podcast episodes, video versions. Those are on YouTube. But at the same time, I interact live with my viewers. I try to do live stream. And I encourage people to share their thoughts in the live chat window. And I read those comments live. And I address those comments. I try to answer those questions. I like that live interaction. So if you don't follow my YouTube channel, please go to my YouTube channel. You'll find the information on my website, tossifanam.net. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, tell your friends, family members, your neighbors about my channel. Connect with me, share with me your thoughts, tune in for my live streams. Help me grow my channel, help me spread my message to more and more people across the country. And I'll say it again, I want to hear your thoughts, I want to hear from you. So don't forget to send me a message. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And please email me. My friends, thank you once again for listening to my podcast. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to be back again soon. But before that, before I end, let me say it again. We need to secure the southern border, and we need to stop the influx of illegal immigrants. With that, my friends, I will be back again with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.